it's pretty far out of town, so that they don't have any problem with it. Other than you get it sometimes, but not very often.
Or if you click anywhere in the middle and.
Anyway, we can't have a
control
meeting
button
on-
Are you guys going to that? You guys all going to that? Are you going, Corey?
I'm going.
I got family reunion that weekend.
No, I fly back in from Fort Worth that night. I'll be in Phoenix at 3, so it's just as easy to hang out at Queen Creek. Come up
Oh,
there.
that's where you're going, Queen Creek? I didn't notice the name of it.
Oh, yeah.
Something Valley?
Something,
Queen Creek.
yeah.
Are you gonna go?
No.
No, it says something on the email. It said something Valley.
And it logged.
It's Queen Creek.
It's Queen Creek.
It can't be if it's something Valley.
Watch
Hold
my,
on to
Maybe
it.
the name
as they
of
used to
the
say in English,
facility
watch
is
my
something
lips.
about-
Queen Creek.
Jack.
Did you get the email about the about being able to download?
Yes. And
Okay.
it doesn't
What's
work.
going on, pardon?
All you get, I mean, I downloaded it and I listened to Phyllis and somebody talk about how lousy the coffee was.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, you just have to keep
One of a
going.
kind.
I just kept it 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and that's never happened.
How was that conversation when we went about life?
Do what? I got it.
You got a CD? Oh, okay. Oh, did Spencer do that?
I don't know who did it.
Yes, Spencer made it
Yeah,
for me.
Spencer made it.
Okay.
Look, asking ye shall receive.
File share, but
I'm very good.
maybe we need to rethink
Maybe going to the back room.
Yeah, let's do that now, and
You doing okay, Corey?
because otherwise we'll be holding
okay?
our audience.
I know. It's a battle, but yes, we're good.
SRO, right? Wait. Yeah. Double click. Okay, we want Skype.
And we gotta figure out where the camera.
Hello. Hello. I hear you, but I don't see you. Where is everybody?
They're doing their invocation.
Yeah.
Can you see everything?
Yeah. Let's see.
One and all.
One and all.
Thanks, Mike.
It's okay. We are okay.
Look at my notebook, Corey.
Good evening, how are you?
Look at that. Brand new he gets.
Good evening. All right, we'll make sure we're powered up here.
But I asked for a new one and they gave me one. Can you believe that? You got like a little professional look going on there, bud. What's that about?
I'm working on it. I'm gonna make sure I keep a notebook handy more often.
Oh, I met with the folks from Big Brothers Big Sisters and
Who, me?
contact info.
Oh, no, I'm looking at my computer. I've got two computers here. I got the laptop with the Skype on it. I got my office computer up on my computer.
Did you do that again this year? You know?
I agree with you. I got it.
Okay.
These things are made notes, you know. And finally I said, you know what? I'll cut it in half. Because like that's long enough. How many of these strategic plans we got to get?
This is supposed to be the last one, but we'll see. If they don't like it, they keep changing it.
All right, you guys ready on this side? You guys ready? Okay.
Ready on the left. Ready.
We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we have the roll call?
Most certainly. Good evening, Mayor and Council. All right, Councilmember Chuka.
Here.
Councilmember Turner.
Here.
Councilmember Miller.
Here.
Councilmember Mendoza.
Here.
Councilmember Best.
Here.
Vice Mayor Croft.
Here.
And Mayor Marley.
For a limited time only here. Introductions, presentations, and proclamations. We don't have any. Our next item is call to the public. Call to the public is an opportunity for the public to address the council on any issue within the jurisdiction of the council that is not on the agenda. Public comment is encouraged. Individuals are limited to speak for 3 minutes. Total time for call to the public may be up to 30 minutes per meeting. Council action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing staff to study the matter, scheduling the matter for further consideration and decision at a later date, or responding to criticism. Do we have anyone for call to the public? Yes, ma'am. All right.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Lillian, and I've lived here for about 11 years now. First of all, congratulations to the incumbents on your win, to the new person that may be coming in, and to almost Mayor Croft. And for Mayor Marley, I wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. One of the things that I just want to kind of put out there, it's not a criticism or anything like that. It's just ideas, and that was done as I was talking to people, that came up to me and whatever, see what they wanted to see this town do. And some of the things are like a mini golf, indoor racquetball courts, handball courts, batting cage, a small botanical garden with a picnic area, and a movie theater. And I think this would help, everybody in the town to, stay in town, spend their money here, entertainment, people can go on dates or not. And, those just future ideas that I think would help this town, develop that sense of more community. And I did hear that there's an issue with buses, school buses, that they may be too old or they need a lot of repair. And I know that if you go on the internet, there's plenty of companies out there that have used really good buses for, I think, really low prices, less than a car, like $20,000, $30,000. And I think that might be a good research, to do for the town. Buses that I looked at had seat belts. They were very comfortable seats. And, if that's something that you guys are going to be looking at down the road. The other thing is, I did read in the paper that you were planning on, well, maybe not you guys, but that there's a plan to, down Center Street, connect to Williamson Valley. And I think that's an excellent idea, especially when there's an emergency, like a fire and people trying to get out. There should always be more than one way to get out of town. So I guess that's it. And again, congratulations for everybody that won.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And we will pass on to the folks at the county your support of the Center Street extension, and pass on to the folks at the school that you support their buses. And if you would, could you write down the list of recreation ideas and pass them to our town manager? I was trying to write them down, but I couldn't get them all. Okay, thank you. Anyone else for call to the public? Okay. Call to the public is now closed. Response to the public. Response to the public is an opportunity for the mayor to inform the public about how town officials address matters raised during call to the public at a previous meeting. And we didn't have anything raised at the last meeting that needed response. Current event summaries and reports. This item is for information only. The mayor, any council member, or town manager may present a brief summary or report of current events or ask a staff member to provide the same. Presentation on information requested by the mayor and council will be made and questions answered. No action will be taken. Do we have any reports on this side? Yes, sir.
I'd like to thank everybody, our citizens, our town, to go ahead, that came out and participated in our territorial parade. We fed over 500 people pancakes. The corn dinner, I understand, was phenomenal as far as the people they got to go ahead and serve. And for any of you who missed the parade due to prior engagements, we had it videoed, and it will be on the on the town's channel, so you could go ahead and watch the parade and see who won what. Thank you.
All right. The town council float did not win anything. Any other?
Imagine.
I think it was the driver.
Did it sink? Did it sink?
It didn't sink. No. Any reports on this side? Yes, sir.
Yeah, on August 24th, several of us went to the annual conference for the League of Cities and Towns. It was an excellent conference, got a lot of good information, especially a session on how the 2016 Regulation and Taxation of Marijuana Act would work in Arizona if the recreational marijuana law does pass. So it was worth the trip and the time that we spent there.
Okay, thank you. Status report by Town Manager Robert Smith regarding town accomplishments and current or upcoming projects. Did you have anything? No? Okay. Consent agenda. All those items listed below are considered to be routine and may be enacted by one motion. Any council member may request to remove an item from consent agenda to be considered and discussed separately. Does anyone wish to remove anything from consent agenda on this side of the desk? Any on this side?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Ms. Lewis, may we have the consent agenda?
All right, since they're all minutes, I'm just going to kind of squish them together rather than read it all separate. Consideration and possible action to accept the July 26, 2016 regular meeting minutes. B is to accept the August 9, 2016 regular meeting minutes. C, to accept the August 16, 2016 special meeting minutes. And D, accept the August 16, 2016 study session minutes.
Okay. Chair would entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we, to approve the consent agenda items A, B, C, and D.
I'll
Second it.
We have a motion and 2 seconds. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Action items. The council may vote to recess the public meeting and hold an executive session on any item on this agenda pursuant to ARS 38-431.03A3 for the purpose of discussion or consultation for legal advice with the town attorney. Executive sessions are not open to the public and no action may be taken in executive session. Before we go any further, Town Manager, do we have, is just the water back here? Is this all we've got? Do we have any bottled water?
Let me look into that for
It's
you.
no sweat. I can grab a. Okay. Yeah, just throw me a bottle after a bit. Thank you. Item A, consideration and possible action to approve the intergovernmental agreement, IGA, between the town of Chino Valley and Yavapai County authorizing payment for general drainage improvements within the town of Chino Valley. Mr. Lopez, I believe you're up.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the council. I'm just going to get my exhibits up here. Bear with me, please. Council meeting.
Thank you, dear.
Thanks. There we go. Okay. So tonight we're bringing forward the agreement with Yavapai County and the town, the intergovernmental agreement for drainage dollars, drainage flood control monies basically coming down through the county to us and enables us to use those monies for local drainage improvements or any type of drainage materials that we may need. This year, in speaking with Mr. Dan Cherry, Dan Cherry with the county, we developed if I can get this up for you, we developed this spreadsheet that kind of just shows what we were thinking might be some good projects. Is there a way I can zoom? So last year, we used the majority of those dollars for the Chino Meadows Unit 2 and 5 drainage project. We had a large amount of money to do so. This year, we're down to $110,000. And so we had to get a little creative and presenting material to the county for those projects. So this is a spreadsheet that I created and passed on to the county. The first 3 projects listed there are projects we have going in-house. The first one is the Road 2 South 89 drainage improvement. That's the Maverick Pond, if you will. We got Line Engineering in 2014. They developed a study identifying about 8 to 10 projects within the town that we saw would fit within this program and could utilize drainage improvement dollars. So that's what we put there, that first one and the second one. The third one there is part of actually the Road 1 East project. We do have a number of drainage crossings in that project as well where we could utilize those monies. And then the bottom portion there is just materials. We know that we're always replacing culverts, they go bad, and so I included those numbers to the county as well. And that totals about $107,000. Now, those monies also can be used, and we've been exploring this option as a grant, for grant purposes, for matching funds. So we can also take those dollars and use those as our contributing funds for matching on grant applications. So we also want to explore that. So in order for us to have all these options available to us, the IGA is written for general drainage improvements. That allows us the flexibility to use the dollars where we see. Now, when we do use or expend a large amount of monies, I will be coming before you again, asking for your guys' approval to move forward with those particular projects as they flow. So. And that pretty much is it. You have a copy of the IGA, I believe, in your packet. So we have this spreadsheet. We also have, this is the matrix that was used to develop the priority list for the drainage projects in town. We've already done a couple of these already. Unit 5 Peavine Trail has been completed. The 3 North at Town Hall drainage project has been completed. And based on this matrix, the next one in line would be either Cemetery Draw, which requires a large amount of work, a Clomar or Lomar, somewhere in the range of $200,000. So that's kind of out there. But the next one beyond that would be the Road 2 South 89 project, which is the Maverick project. So we're hopeful that we can get that issue resolved within the coming year. We could probably get that one done for $20,000 to $40,000. So, like I said, we want all of our options open, so that's why I want to present this to you. But in general, it's a standard IGA that we have with the county in order for us to use those funds.
Excellent.
Okay. Any questions?
Any questions on this side? One of the things that a lot of folks aren't really aware of is whenever you change drainage at one point, it affects everything downstream from it. So
Absolutely.
you pretty much have to work from the bottom back up.
Absolutely, and we're trying at the Public Works to recognize those issues. So, when we get complaints on drainage and people want their drainage fixed, it's not as easy as people may think because of that fact. We fix it here and it causes problems downstream. So we're real cognizant of that as we move forward with any drainage improvements within the town.
Okay, thank you. Any questions on this side?
Yeah, I have one.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned when you first started that with the projects we did last year, we had a lot more funding.
Yes.
Okay, and what is the difference between last year and this year?
It's just the amount of money that the county has allocated for flood control. So they get a certain amount of money every year. There was much more last year that was enabled us to do the Unit 2 and 5 drainage project. That came in at $800,000, and I believe last year we got about $760,000 from flood control to do that project. Now with not as much money flowing through the county, we only got $110,000. But I'm being assured by the county, they recognize the need of the town. They recognize that our funding sources are very limited, so they're making sure that we get at the very least our share, but they're actually giving us more just because of our limited financial resources. So,
So it all has to do with county budgeting.
absolutely. Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And now that they know Ms. Morales supports them, hopefully they'll come up with more money. Any other questions on this side, Thank you. Is there any discussion? Okay, Chair would entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the intergovernmental agreement, IGA, between the town of Chino Valley and Yavapai County for general drainage improvements within the town of Chino Valley.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Lopez.
You're welcome. Thank you, Council.
Item B, consideration and possible action to adopt resolution number 16-1091, authorizing the acquisition of certain real property for right-of-way and temporary construction easement purposes for reconstruction of the intersection of Road 1 West and Road 2 North, authorizing the mayor, town manager, and town attorney to acquire title to such real property on behalf of the town by dedication and to obtain the temporary construction easement by purchase for an amount not to exceed $3,500 plus acquisition and closing costs, and to authorize the mayor, town manager, and town attorney to perform all acts necessary to acquire the property, all as set forth in the resolution. Mr. Lopez.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. This particular project or item is to acquire right-of-way for the expansion of Road 2 North and 1 West. It's all part of a IGA that the town has with Chino Valley Unified School District, utilizing their adjacent way funding. So we have an IGA in place that was done in 2014 that allows us to renew every year based on the amount of work that we've done. We haven't done any work in that IGA currently, so we will be bringing that to you again to update that IGA so we can move forward. This particular item is to acquire the right-of-way that's adjacent to the school in private property. And if you look at the screen here, it's the phase 1 indicated down here at the bottom. So for this particular item, it's actually the southwest corner of that intersection, and that's private property, the Wallach property. The property owners have been very gracious in working with the town to give us the right-of-way at a pretty reasonable price, allowing for a better movement of buses. That's really what this is all about. That intersection is very tight. We got poles right up against the road. When buses are trying to turn off that intersection, if anyone has encountered that, you have to back off at least 3 or 4 car lengths in order for them to accomplish that. What this will allow them to do is actually veer away, and the stripe portion that you see there is actually going to be striped, so when the buses turn, they actually can come into that striped area and allow for safer movement. So the cars won't be backing up, allowing for them to move. The cars will be shifted to the west side of the road and then back over in line once they pass that intersection. So the real estate purchase contract is for the portion of right-of-way on that private property and for the temporary construction easement in order to construct this intersection. The next portion of this, and I'm just going to give you guys a broad overview, but the next portion would be to go and to get an appraised value for the CVID, or excuse me, for the school district's property. We get that value, and then we have to bring that to the Chino Valley School District Board to approve that, whatever cost that is. So we're right now working with an appraisal to figure out what that price is to move forward. I spoke with John Scholes recently, the superintendent for the Chino Valley Schools, and he would like to see this project move forward late July, or excuse me, late June, early July. So he wants to put it right between the 2 fiscal years. And they have about $200,000 available to construct these projects. The first project, like I said, was phase 1. The second being phase 2, which is in back of the school. And then the school district this year actually did phase 3 on their own. So the phase 3 that you see back here was actually already been completed. And it's basically paving for the buses to come out and then queue up in the parking lot, avoiding all that vehicular traffic during the peak hours. And I'll just go, here's a blow up of the actual improvements of that intersection. This is the piece that we're talking about tonight, and this will be the piece that we're going to bring to you later with the revised IGA that allow us to move forward. Other than that, that's pretty much the gist of it. If you have any questions, I'd like to expand on that if you like.
When I first heard about it, I thought it was going to be Road 1 East, but not so fortunate. Someday down the road. Yes, sir, Mr. Mendoza.
Are they going to change the bus loading and to the back of the school? Is that how I understood this?
Ultimately, Mr. Mendoza, that's the pattern that the buses will take. They'll be actually coming in off of 2 North in the back here and queuing up back in the back and getting them totally off this intersection. But you can't avoid it all together. So they will be using this movement still, but ultimately they want the majority of the buses to come in through the back and then maneuver through there.
Because that was the question, is why spend the money on the intersection if in phase 2 we're going to be loading and unloading children in the back? So,
Well, like I
Why
said,
spend the money?
they will be doing most of their movements back there, but we still need this intersection improved because we will still have buses traversing through this intersection.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Best?
All right. Expanding on Corey's comments. So are they going to enter and exit off of 2 North? Is that the idea?
Yes. And then they'll also come in off of 1 West.
Okay.
Now, you can't really see it here, but this road actually goes around all the buildings to the
Right.
north side.
I'm aware of where the road goes. I see all the buses, they actually turn in by the high school or middle school cafeteria, gymnasium, whatever, and they go behind everything. It was all paved last summer, I know.
Right. Yep.
So there's no mud.
The phase 2 is actually the bulk of the cost will be on phase 2. That's about a $200,000 project.
Right.
There's some grade separation going on there. We want some sidewalks. There's some ramps that need to be put in order to have the ADA movements back there. So that will be coming in subsequent years.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any further questions on this side? Yes,
so
sir.
what is the town's responsibility on the construction of this?
We will
Is it all us, or how, I don't understand
No, we will
the split
basically
here.
be just project managing it. We already have a design, as you see here, for the first phase. We will be taking it out to bid and project managing the project, and then the school will reimburse us for the construction costs and the cost to manage the project.
Okay, so this was not in this year's budget as far as,
We have
Or was it?
we have $10,000 in our right-of-way acquisition budget, so yeah, we have it budgeted.
Okay, thank you. Any questions on this side? Yes, ma'am.
Maybe just to help clarify a little bit, because I did drive school bus. When you come, when you're coming from the high school or Territorial and you have to go do pickups over at Del Rio and Heritage, you typically have to use 2 North, coming by Walgreens headed west. The intersection there is ridiculous to try to bring that bus around, and like Michael explained, traffic has to back, if there's a car there, which of course there is because it's usually schools out, they would have to back up to make room for the bus. Mike, and of course I said to Michael, well, the real problem is the northwest corner. Why can't we shave that? And as he, brought to my attention, and then I recalled, there's utility poles there. There's also some type of an irrigation system there, some type of pump system. It would be costly.
Right, and then there's an existing home, and there's really a lot to it. So we felt that this was the best alternative to improve the intersection.
So that I'm getting, because that's where it actually should be our town's responsibility to make negotiation available, possible for these buses. The phase 2, is that private property then?
It is.
Okay,
It
so
is.
that's not really our part of it, is it?
It's not, but the way the IGA is written is that it allows us to go in and work on-site and off-site adjacent to any of these schools.
Oh, okay.
So Chino Valley School District isn't in the business of constructing, designing, and the like. So we've developed this IGA, which allows us to use our forces through Public Works to help facilitate the improvements. We use their dollars, but we use our staff in order to accomplish
Oh, okay.
this task.
Okay, that makes
Good.
sense.
Thank you. Mr. Turner? Good. All right. If there's no other questions, is there any discussion? No. All right, the chair would entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution number 16-1091, authorizing the acquisition of certain real property.
Second it?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
You bet. Item C, consideration and possible action to adopt resolution number 16-1090, declaring and adopting the results of the primary election held on August 30th, 2016. Ms. Lewis.
I really didn't prepare a presentation, but if you all have any questions.
Who's the new mayor?
I think that man right there.
Maybe we should delay this for another year.
Let's table this.
I can go over the results if you'd like.
Oh, no, I think we're good, but thank you.
Figured so.
Thank you. Did anyone have any questions? Ms. Lewis already has answered my questions about why it took so long to get the final results. I guess consolidated elections has helped us out a great deal.
In that way. It's helped in other ways. In other ways, it's slowed the process down a little bit. But is everybody clear on how the election came out, those who were actually elected, the numbering and all that? And we don't have to have a general, so that will save us some money.
Oh, excellent.
We're excited about that.
Excellent. All right, thank you. The
Mr.
town-
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution number 16-1090, declaring and adopting the results of the primary election held on August 30, 2016.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same
Congratulations,
sign. Yeah, thank you. The vice mayor brought that forward so I wouldn't say anything. All right, thank you. Item D, consideration and possible action to approve ordinance 16-825, amending the Town of Chino Valley Town Code, Title 11, Business Regulations, by repealing Chapter 114, Cable Television in its entirety, and adopting new Chapter 114, Cable Television, including new sections 114.01 through 114.61, setting forth definitions, licensing requirements and procedures, and regulations related thereto, and requirements related to access channels and subscriber services for cable television providers within the town of Chino Valley. Ms. Griffman.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I, too, do not have a presentation. We vetted this through the study session a month ago or so. So our attorney really prepared most of this, so I think she can answer any questions if you have any otherwise.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Any questions on this side? Nope. Excellent. The chair will entertain a motion then.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve ordinance 16-825, declaring the document entitled Town of Chino Valley Cable Television Regulations dated September 13, 2016, to be a public record and amending the Town of Chino Valley Town Code Title 11 Business Regulations by repealing Chapter 114 Cable Television in its entirety, that's 21, and adopting by reference new Chapter 114 Cable Television to set forth in that document entitled Town of Chino Valley Cable Regulation dated September 13, 2016.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second it?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Beautiful.
Item E, consideration and possible action to approve the 2016 strategic plan. Ms. Mayday.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This must be some harmonic convergence. I don't have a presentation either.
Okay.
So we can get right to it. At your seats tonight, you should have found a color copy of the final version of the strategic plan. Other than a couple of color changes on charts and a few pictures, there were no substantial changes. We just appended the staff comments to the back of this plan.
Okay.
I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I do have one question on page 17. I would like to know what lens you used to take that picture, because it makes me look like Mike Best.
I know, isn't that amazing? You would have to ask Matt.
It's
I know, I thought you might like that. You look about a foot taller.
I haven't been that thin since I was 18, but thank you. I
Run with it.
appreciate it. All right. Any other questions? Anyway, I couldn't believe my eyes.
Actually, you look like the rifleman.
Anyway, that's the anti-stodgy lens. Is there any other questions on behalf of council? No? All right. The chair would entertain a motion then.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the 2016 strategic plan as presented.
Second.
And we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Executive session. Council may vote to recess the regular meeting and hold an executive session which will not be open to the public for the following purposes. Item A, an executive session pursuant to ARS 38-431.03A1 for discussion or consideration of employment, assignment, appointment, promotion, demotion, dismissal, salaries, disciplining, or resignation of Town Manager Robert Smith. And item B, an executive session pursuant to ARS 38-431.03A4 for discussion or consultation with the town attorney in order to consider its position and instruct the town attorney regarding the town's position regarding a contract with Prescott Sportsman's Club related to management of the Chino Valley Shooting Range facility. That's the subject of negotiations. I'd like to ask the council's pleasure. Do you guys need a break before we go in?
I'd like just a short one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so cool enough. Let's meet at 1:15 in the E-session room there, okay? Council chambers. All right. We will recess for about 12 minutes, and then we'll meet in the E-sessions. I suppose we can move now to go into E-session, okay? Can I have a motion then?
Motion to adjourn to E-session.
Second.
Okay, after our recess. All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 12-minute recess.
10 o'clock. Yes. Hey. Breathable underwear.
Some of them delete.
Oh, life's fun.
Action items resumed. After the executive session, council will reconvene the regular meeting. Consideration and possible action regarding employment, assignment, appointment, promotion, demotion, dismissal, salaries, disciplining, or resignation of town manager Robert Smith. The chair would entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to direct town attorney prepare a letter to the town manager setting forth an assignment to pursuant to his employment contract.
Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The chair would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that.
And we have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Good night.